What's up YouTube, it's Young Men's Daily Red Pill, back with another video. Thank you guys for clicking on today's video. Be sure to like the content if you enjoy it, if you want my message to be spread, and share the video as well. Let me know your thoughts on it as we read this story. Very eye-opening story. I don't like to read things and share things on the channel unless they contribute to add some type of value to your life and they bring forth a message that I believe in needs to be shared. And this is a story that I feel like needs to be shared. It was sent in by a subscriber. I will leave his name obviously anonymous. I will pull up the story so you can follow it as I read. He sent it to my email. Remember guys, if you want me to read your stories, be sure to either follow me on Instagram right here and send it to me, or you can get in contact with me through email at youngmensdailyredpill@gmail.com. All right? So let's dive into this brother's story. Hopefully it's able to speak to someone out there. Maybe you're going through something similar. You've experienced something similar in the past, and we can take what this brother has shared with us and learn from it, because that is what my channel is about. It's to learn. We need to grow as men. If we want anything to change, if we want our lives to improve, we must learn from others' mistakes in the past. So let's dive into this email. Here we go. He goes on and says, "Hey, Young Men's Daily Red Pill. I'd like to share my story with you and your followers. I met my ex-wife on Facebook via mutual interest when I was 32 and she was 21. All right, so they already met on a platform which I would discourage you guys from meeting women on. And that's any type of social media, or including Facebook, any dating profiles, dating apps like that. Not a good idea. Obviously, this brother learned, but let's continue. I lived in Massachusetts, and she lived in Florida at the time. Long distance relationship. Once again, I discourage long distance relationships, and then they met online. 2 red flags off rip. I can guarantee she was dealing with multiple men at once. She has 2 kids, which are not mine. We had a long distance relationship for about a year, from 2016 to 2017. And during that time, she wanted to relocate to be with me. The judge ruled that she could not relocate with her youngest son, so I eventually decided to relocate to Florida after about a year. My biggest mistake was marrying her, thinking that she would be more likely to be granted relocation that way. I was lucky enough to be granted the ability to work remotely with my employer. Before I moved, I sold my condo that I had in Massachusetts, which I made a large profit from, and I bought a house in Florida. Shortly after we settled into a new home, my ex said she wanted to get a cat. I figured, sure, why not? She picked it out. Then a couple months later, she said that she wanted to get another cat. I picked this one out. I ended up being the only one to ever take care of the cats. And my brother, I also can relate to this. I went through the same exact thing in a past relationship where I did not want a pet in the house. It was also a kitten. And I folded and I decided, what the heck? Why not just have a little kitten in the house? Ended up being the one that took care of it. Had to get the kitty litter out of the carpet, out of the rugs. Sometimes the kitten, she would want to sleep in bed with us, and the kitten would leave its paw prints with poop on it in the bed. Not a good decision, guys. And she will always choose the pet over you. So if you act out, somehow you get a little angry and frustrated about the little kitten being in that home, trust and believe she will leave you for that kitten. That kitten has more leverage than you'll ever have. The woman will usually always prioritize animals, pets, children, basically anything else in the house except for the man. Even if you're paying for it, even if she says she quote unquote loves you, you are last on that list of priorities. But I digress, my brothers. I think I was just getting too ahead of myself living in the past, remembering just how terrible it was living with a cat woman. Aside from that, she would hoard stuff in the cabinets, making a huge concealed mess and not stick to a budget. A scattered closet means a scattered mind. And a scattered mind comes from a lot of issues in the past and current issues that have seeped over from her past issues that she's had. Remember this, brothers. Her car, her room, all of those things are indicative of her mind and where her mindset is. Same thing with guys as well. She also expected me to do housework even though I was the only one who was working. So what the hell was she doing the rest of the time? That's my question. She only had a couple part-time jobs during our relationship, and she didn't last more than a month at either of them. I'm going to stop it right there real quick. Remember, gentlemen, in a relationship and a marriage in 2020 and beyond moving forward, it's all a business transaction. It's all a contract. Therefore, you are the business, okay? So therefore, if you see her flaking at her actual 9-to-5 job and not being as committed as an employee that to the best of her abilities, that will seep into your relationship. That shows that she has a lack of commitment and consistency. Fast forward to the start of 2019, just a week or so after New Year's, we had a house party / get together, and she invited this guy who she claimed was an old friend from high school. Lo and behold, shortly after, she asked me how I felt about an open relationship. I told her absolutely not, and if that's what she wanted, it's not going to be with me. Good. Proud of you. My trust was completely shot after that, and during the next few months, she would say she wanted to go out for, quote-unquote, girls' night out, to clubs and sleepovers at her friends, which are not sleepovers at her friends. They are sleepovers at another man's house or his backseat of his car. That's where she will be sleeping after he gets done smashing her out. Numerous times she would not answer her phone and was gone the whole night. Yep, she was getting pounded out during that time period, but we already know these things if we have this red pill lens. I didn't have proof as to what was going on yet, but I knew something was not right. One time, while she was out, she even tore the passenger mirror off my car. So she's a psycho chick. She gave me this BS excuse that someone hit the car in the parking lot in the club she was going to. At other times, she would come home drunk and said she needed to go to the hospital. While we were together, she also had her gallbladder removed, and the drinking was clearly not good for her for so many reasons. She expressed to me about how she had this crazy dream about how her and these people were burning down a house. I told her that it was symbolism for her self-destructive behavior. At this point, I told her that I was not okay with what was going on and wanted a divorce. She kept telling me that's not what she wanted. About 3 months moving into 2019, she told me that she wanted to go to this open house for a film school in Utah. I told her that she was out of her mind with all of this and it wasn't in the budget whatsoever. She bought a plane ticket anyway. She told me the flight was going to be out of Atlanta and told me that her friends were going to drive up there with her. When she was in Georgia, she told me that she missed the flight and was thinking about just coming back home. She claimed that one of her other girlfriends from Georgia that she hasn't seen in years was driving back with her. I called her and she didn't answer. She did call me back at the rest stop, and it was obvious she was calling from inside a bathroom. I told her that I thought it was weird that every time she called me, she was in the bathroom. I told her that I'd like to meet her friend, and I'm sure her mom would like to see her as well. The reason she's calling from the bathroom, as a lot of you guys probably already know, is because she is hiding the conversation from some other male. I told her I'd like to meet her friend, and I'm sure her mom would like to see her as well. When she finally got back, she claimed that her friend already left to go back home. At this point, I told her again that I was not okay with what was going on and wanted a divorce. She kept telling me that's not what she wanted. I said actions speak louder than words. A week or so later, she claimed that she was going camping on the coming Sunday. At this point, I just didn't care anymore. While she was gone, I finally decided to look at the phone records and found what I was looking for. Hundreds of texts and calls, even during my birthday, to the just a guy friend. At this point, I sent her a text telling her that I knew what was going on and I knew who it was. I told her that she's disgusting. I told her that we were filing divorce papers the next day. She was still trying to deny things, but finally came clean in the morning about everything and told me that she didn't want a divorce and wanted to work things out. I told her that's not what her actions were telling me. My brother, I know you think that you telling her these things you're speaking logically, okay? You're speaking logically to an emotional creature, which is the woman. Therefore, what you're saying makes perfect sense to other men that are watching this, myself included. Her actions are definitely not speaking louder than her words right now. Her actions are showing you she can't be trusted. But guess what? She is always going to make excuses for her behavior. So by you going back and forth, obviously, it's not going to work out very well for you. She is an emotional creature. She does not think logically. He goes on and says, I had all the papers ready, and in the morning I told her to look everything over before we went to the courthouse to file them. After they were filed, she asked me if I could cancel it. I told her that a man should never give a woman another chance after infidelity. Good. That both her and her affair partner deserve each other, and that I deserve better than her. Good. The house was put on the market and sold after a couple weeks. I ended up finding an apartment to move into, but the whole time while I was waiting for closing, and even after I had moved into the apartment, she was making my life a living hell, as if I was the one who did her wrong. I took the cat that I picked out, and she was supposed to keep the cat that she picked out. I told her that she could keep pretty much all the furniture, and I was just going to keep the living room TV, which I had just purchased, what I had in my office, and anything I had prior to our relationship. I told her I'd keep the TV at the house so her kids had something to watch until she moves, and I would pick it up later. While I was at the apartment one night, she tells me that she wanted to stop by and apologize to me in person for everything. I was reluctant, but finally agreed. It turns out that she only wanted to know where my apartment was so that she could drop the other cat off there. Goodness sakes, what a psycho. I told her that if she did, it was going to be back to the shelter. I would have just put it on the freeway or Why doesn't she just keep the cat for her future collection of cats when her children grow up and realize how terrible of a person she is and she's living with a bunch of cats? She could just add the cat to the collection, get started early, you know what I'm saying? She couldn't even take care of the damn cat. Thankfully, I ended up finding someone to adopt the other cat and didn't need to bring it to the shelter. When she was moving her stuff out of the house, she kept asking me where the tool to take the trampoline apart was. I told her it was in the garage and expressed to her that she was leaving the TV at the house. She told me that she really wanted it. I asked her if she was really going to do that to me after everything else. She told me she had to go. She doesn't care about your feelings, guys. You guys need to realize women don't care about how you feel in your emotional state. She also expected me to go to the house to help clean it before the closing. I never responded. Even though we both filed divorce papers together, we were still ordered to mediation. At the mediation, while we were waiting, she told me that I could have the TV back. I thought that was kind of strange. When the TV was back at the house that night, I tested it, and it was broken. It most likely broke when they had moved it, and that's why she told me I could have it back. She was really trying to give me back a broken TV. I told her that she can keep her karmic TV as a testament to how well her new relationship will work out, and that she needs to get her own phone service by the coming Monday. Apart from that, some of the other things that she did was call the insurance company to have her vehicle put back on. Technically, she could, because the divorce was not finalized yet, but I just took it off again. And she also called the mortgage company to change the mailing address to her mom's in an attempt to intercept the escrow check. She shouldn't have been able to do that because the mortgage was not in her name. Her name was only on the deed. I called the mortgage company to ask why the change of address was approved, and they said I was correct. She would not have been able to change it. But the thing is that I had already received the escrow check before then anyway. I just wanted the divorce to be finalized as quickly as possible, and it ended up only taking a few months. In the end, she ended up getting half of the proceeds for the sale of the house, which she clearly did not deserve. But in the divorce decree, it was stated that she needed to use half of the proceeds to pay off her vehicle. Still, that is still your money, and she was the one that cheated on you and initiated the end of your marriage. So that money, even though it's only to be used to pay off half her vehicle, it doesn't matter. That is still your money that she is not entitled to. I stayed in the apartment until the rest of the year thinking about what I wanted to do and what my next moves would be. My family wanted me to move back to Taxachusetts. He means Massachusetts, but I guess it's high taxes. But I told them that's not what I wanted to do. I enjoy living in Florida, mainly due to weather and tax purposes, so I didn't plan on moving back up there. I did want to move to a different part of Florida though, because Tallahassee is mainly just school and government work. I've been wanting to invest in real estate, and at the turn of 2020, I decided to purchase a 3-bed, 3-bath townhouse and got a sublease taken care of on the apartment. I rented out the other 2 rooms in my townhouse, and just 8 months later, I purchased another 3-bedroom, 3-bath home that has a guest house in Clearwater. I rented out my remaining room in the townhouse and am now living in my home in Clearwater with the guest house rented, and I'm also renting out the master bedroom. My goal is to build up my real estate portfolio by purchasing an additional property every year. This gentleman is on track, and guess what? He would not be on this trajectory towards success and greatness with the modern woman around. I'm not saying all women are like this. Some women can help you towards your purpose. However, that is not common nowadays, especially. Okay, guys? You have to realize that is not common. You see how this woman ruined this man's life, but he's recovering. Props to you, my brother. I'm proud of you. You are setting an example to guys that are out there that are going through something similar, that they can recover, that they can make it out, that it isn't the end, and that you can use that pain, that suffering that you went through towards motivating yourself to do great things. My ex's family still reaches out to me every so often to see how I'm doing. Yes, they're trying to see how you're doing because they still want you to take on their burden of a family member, which is your ex. She was featured in the newspaper because she lost her job after asking to work remotely. And I heard she got into a car accident. I hope she's enjoying her karma. Oh man, I hate to laugh at that, but it's true. Karma does exist like that. I hope my story can help those going through anything similar right now, or to help prevent anyone from going through what I have. Men, understand no circumstances should you ever get married. And I've been telling you guys this since the creation of this channel. Under no circumstances do you need to get married to a woman, to the modern female. The modern female will bring chaos and destruction into your life. That is not every woman. That is not every woman, but that is the average. The majority of women will do that. I understand the true nature of women now. They are children in adult bodies. Yes, they're children with breasts. All women are like that. And he signs it off, an ex-blue pillar. Well, thank you for your email, my brother, and thank you for sharing your story to the channel. I hope those of you that listen to this story and stayed all the way to the end were able to absorb some helpful information and hopefully learn from this brother's past mistakes, because this brother is sharing his story to help you guys out. I've shared my story to help you guys out. We've had people come on this channel sharing their stories to help you brothers out in the community, what to look out for, what pitfalls to avoid. We're doing this to help you guys out at the end of the day. So you either receive the information or you turn a blind eye to it, because there's too many stories out there, all right? I have hundreds, and I would even say maybe thousands now, of emails with guys sharing their stories. That is why I share stories on this channel, to help us learn and grow. It is targeted at young men, so we as young men can learn from our elders, those men that have already gone through divorces, gone through hard breakups, gone through situations where they were extorted financially by the court system, by the gynocentric society, by women, and gone through chaos and turmoil. The average woman is an agent of chaos. All right, guys? You have to understand these things moving forward. Times are different. Times have changed since your grandparents were married. That is the cold hard truth that no one wants to talk about. If you'd like to share your story to the channel, email me at youngmensdailyredpill@gmail.com. Submit your story. We could set up a Zoom call if you'd like to be featured on the channel. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section below. Be sure to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Peace and blessings. Have a good one.